Welcome back to National Parks After Dark. You do not need to follow every word here. There is nothing to keep track of, nothing you need to remember or do. This is only a quiet walk in Yosemite Valley, late on a summer evening, and a place to rest for a while. You can let yourself drift whenever you need to. You are standing at the edge of a familiar overlooked path, the kind you have walked before without needing a map or a reason. The trail beneath your feet is soft with pine needles, a season's worth of them layered over the earth, muffling each step you take. There is no urgency to the walking. Your pace is slow, as if your body already knows it is arriving somewhere it does not need to hurry toward. The sky above the valley is still holding a deep, fading blue at the horizon, but overhead it has deepened to indigo. The granite walls of the valley have lost their midday sharpness and become soft, dark shapes, enormous and completely still. Half Dome's broad shoulder sits to the east, unmistakable even in silhouette. The long, pale faces of El Capitan and Sentinel Rock rise on either side, holding the edges of the valley without effort or sound. Your attention settles first on the ground. Pine needles cover the path in a soft carpet, warm-toned even in this low light, releasing the last of the day's heat into the cooling air. A few cones lie scattered at the base of a nearby ponderosa pine, its bark rough and faintly orange-brown in the dusk. The high crown of the tree is barely moving, just the slightest shift you can sense rather than see. The path opens onto the overlook without announcement. The valley floor spreads out far below, a wide, quiet basin settling into the evening. The pale ribbon of the Merced River is just visible, winding slowly through the darkening meadows, catching what little light remains. Its sound comes up faintly from the distance, continuous and low, more felt than heard, a presence rather than an interruption. The weathered bench is there, exactly as expected. It sits facing outward toward the valley, its wood grey and smooth from years of weather, a little worn at the seat where others have rested before you. You settle onto it without ceremony. The wood is solid and unhurried beneath you, still holding a trace of the afternoon's warmth. You place your hand on the bench beside you, feeling the grain under your palm, the slight roughness where the weather has worked its way into the surface. The air around you is cool and dry, the kind of mountain air that settles gently after a warm day. There is a slight freshness rising from the valley floor, carrying with it the faint green scent of meadows and the warm resin of pine cooling in the dusk. The first stars appear, one or two at first, then a few more, quietly and without announcement, simply there when your eye moves to find them. The sky is very clear. The air is very still. The pines hold the night so gently. You can hear, just barely, the occasional shift of pine boughs somewhere behind you, a breath of air moving through the high branches and then passing on. Between these sounds, there is only deep, surrounding quiet, the kind that does not ask anything of you. The granite walls have darkened further now, becoming part of the night rather than separate from it. Their surfaces are faintly porous, textured in ways you remember from touching them in daylight, though now they are only shapes against the indigo sky. A few more stars have appeared overhead, scattered without pattern, each one steady and unhurried. The valley breathes below you. The river continues its quiet motion through the meadows, And somewhere out there, the grasses are releasing the warmth they gathered all day. The bench holds you without effort. The wood is solid. The air is cool against your skin. And the pines hold the night so gently. You have arrived at the overlook, and now the walking is done. The bench is here, just where you knew it would be, facing out over the valley in the gathering dark. This is the anchor now, this weathered wooden bench at the edge of the clearing, and you lower yourself onto it with a slow, deliberate ease. Feel the weight of your body settling onto it, the slight give of old wood beneath you, the solidity that meets you and holds. The backs of your thighs rest against the smooth planks, worn by weather and by others who have sat here before. Your palms find their place on either side, fingers curling gently over the edge of the bench, and you can feel the cool, faintly rough grain of the wood under your hands. It is a small, specific sensation, and it is enough to hold your attention gently. The pine trees around the overlook are tall ponderosa pines, their trunks rising straight and wide, their crowns high and open. At this hour, their shapes are dark against the sky, silhouettes without color, but their presence is full and quiet. You can sense their height, the way they frame the space above you without closing it in. The faint resin scent is clearest here, warm and dry, like something stored in sunlight and released slowly all evening. It drifts through the air without effort, carried on nothing but the stillness itself. Return now to the sound of the Murkst River. It is not loud, it is a continuous, low murmur, the water moving over smooth stones somewhere far below in the valley. It does not change, does not rise or fall with any noticeable rhythm. It has been making this sound all day, all season, long before anyone arrived to listen. It will continue after. That steadiness is the thing to settle into, the hum beneath everything else, unhurried and entirely its own. Notice the air on the skin of your face and hands. It is cool now, the warmth of the day having lifted off the granite and the meadow grasses and risen away into the upper reaches of the sky. The coolness is clean and even, touching your cheeks, your forehead, the backs of your hands where they rest on the bench. There is no wind, only the very occasional, barely noticeable movement of air through the high pine branches, a soft, collective sound like a slow exhale, and then quiet again. The stars are more numerous now. The Milky Way is beginning to resolve overhead, a faint wash of light arching from one side of the sky to the other, pale and diffuse against the deepening indigo. Yosemite Valley sits far from city light, and at this hour the sky is becoming what it has always been, deep, layered, patient. Let your eyes move across it without searching for anything in particular. There is no need to name constellations or trace patterns. The light is there, steady and scattered, and that is enough. The granite walls of the valley hold their shapes in the dark, rising on either side, massive and still. These are the same walls that have stood through every season, cool beneath every sky, shaped by time so deep it becomes impossible to imagine. Place one hand on the granite beside the bench, if there is a low rock nearby within reach, or simply imagine the feeling. Smooth, slightly porous, carrying a last trace of the afternoon's warmth on its surface. Cool and stable, and very old. The stone holds nothing and asks for nothing. It is simply there, as it has always been. The pines hold the night so gently. Your breath has found its own rhythm now, slow and even, matching the stillness around you. There is nothing to adjust, nothing to improve. The evening has settled into itself, and you have settled with it, here on this bench, surrounded by pine and granite and the soft scatter of stars. The valley floor is invisible now, lost in shadow, but you know it is there, stretching wide and green beneath you. The meadows, the winding path of the river, the clusters of oak and cedar at the edges of the grassland, all resting under the same sky. The darkness does not erase them. It simply allows them to rest. You let your shoulders drop a little more, your spine settling back against the bench if there is a backrest, or simply held gently upright if there is not. Either way, the body knows how to be here. The pine needles beneath your feet are soft and dry, layered over many seasons, and the faint scent of them rises when you shift your weight even slightly. Warm wood and resin and earth. The night continues to deepen, and the stars continue to appear one by one, in no hurry at all. This is Yosemite Valley in the late evening of late summer, and you are here, resting on a bench at the overlook, breathing the cool mountain air, listening to the quiet. The pines hold the night so gently. The valley has settled fully into night now. The last trace of blue has gone from the horizon, and the sky is one continuous dark field overhead, populated by stars. The Milky Way is clear and soft, not bright, not dramatic, but present, a wide, slow river of light above the valley's own slow river below. You can see it arcing from the shoulder of Half Dome across to where the western cliffs fade into darkness. It is simply there, as the granite is there, as the pines are there. The stars are not twinkling in any energetic way. They hold their small, steady points of light without urgency. The breath slows to match the pace of the place. There is no effort in this. The cool, resin-scented air moves in and out steadily. Each breath in brings a small amount of that pine and granite coolness. Each breath out is warmer, slower, releasing into the still night. The body knows this rhythm without needing to think about it. The chest rises and falls at the same pace the valley has been breathing all evening. The air comes in clean and moves out softer. The Merced River's sound continues. It is the floor beneath all other sounds, the lowest, most continuous note in the valley. Nothing about it changes. It simply continues. Let attention rest on it, without trying to understand it. The sound is neither near nor far. It is simply part of what the night is made of, like the cool air and the presence of the stone walls. The water moves over its stones in the dark, the same way it did when the sky was still light. The bench is warm now where the body has been sitting. The wood has given what warmth it had from the afternoon, and now it has taken a little from the body in return. The exchange is quiet and even. The hands resting on the bench feel the grain less precisely now. The body is heavier on the wood, more at rest. The weight settles more fully with each long breath out. The shoulders rest against the backrest without holding themselves in any particular way. The legs are still. The feet rest on the soft scatter of pine needles that have gathered beneath the bench. The ponderosa pines around the overlook are very still. Their high crowns are barely defined against the stars. Occasionally, rarely, a single branch shifts without sound. The movement is so small it could be imagined. The trees themselves are simply there, tall and unchanging, their roots deep in the thin mountain soil. You can feel their presence more than see them now. The nearest trunks are dark columns at the edge of vision. Their bark holds the day's warmth for a while longer, though the air around them has already turned cool. They stand as they have stood through countless nights like this one. The granite walls are only shapes now, large and dark and entirely quiet. Half dome's rounded shoulder, the long vertical pale of El Capitan. They are not imposing in this dark. They are simply the walls of the place, as familiar as the walls of a room. They have been here every night. They will be here when the sky begins to pale again. There is something restful in their permanence. The stone does not ask anything of the night, or of the person sitting on the bench beneath the pines. It simply holds its shape in the darkness. The pines hold the night so gently. The air moves across the skin so lightly now that it is hard to say whether it is moving at all. There is coolness, yes, but it does not press or insist. It surrounds without weight. The breath continues its slow rhythm, in with the cool scent of pine and granite, out with warmth and slowness, in and out. The stars remain overhead in their soft scatter. The river murmurs far below. The bench holds the body's weight without complaint. Everything here knows how to be still. The pines know, the granite knows, the night air knows, and the body sitting on the weathered bench is learning, breath by breath, how to rest in the same way. There is nothing that needs deciding. No moment that requires attention beyond this one. The valley breathes. The body breathes. The wood of the bench is solid beneath you. The pine needles are soft under your feet. The night continues without effort. The same bench, the same cool, still air, the same stars overhead, the same faint wash of the Milky Way. Nothing has changed. These are familiar things now, and familiar things ask nothing of the mind. You have been here long enough that the bench beneath you has become simply where you are, and the granite beneath your hand has become simply what is, and the valley spreading out below has become simply the shape the world takes in this particular place at this particular hour. There is no need to learn anything new or remember anything that has been forgotten. Everything that matters is already here. The Mersed River far below, its low sound continuous and unhurried. It does not need to be listened for. It is simply there when attention arrives, and still there when attention drifts away again. It has always been there. The sound moves through the valley like breath, neither rising nor falling, neither coming closer nor moving away. It asks nothing. It offers nothing except its own steady presence, and that is enough. You can hear it now, or you can let it fade back into the edges of awareness, and either way, the river continues, low and even, a thread of sound woven through the stillness. The pine needles on the ground around the bench are soft and dry. The scent of the pines is very faint now, or the body has simply settled into it so completely that it has become part of the air itself, rather than a separate thing to notice. That is how belonging happens, quietly, without a moment that can be named. The resin has cooled as the evening has deepened, and what was warm and rich earlier has become something quieter, something that rests in the back of the throat rather than announcing itself with each breath. The air carries it the way stone carries warmth long after the sun has gone. The body on the bench is heavy in a good way. The legs are still. The hands are still. The breath moves slowly in and out, cool and even. There is nothing that needs to be done. There is nowhere that needs to be reached. The wood beneath you holds your weight without effort, the same way it has held the weight of afternoon sun and morning dew and the passage of seasons you were not here to see. It knows how to bear things. It does not resist. Your spine rests against the backrest. Your shoulders rest against your ribs. Your hands rest wherever they have come to be. Heaviness is not tiredness. Heaviness is the body saying yes to gravity, yes to stillness, yes to this place and this moment and this slow unwinding of the day. The stars, they are simply there, the same ones that were there an hour ago, the same ones that will be there an hour from now. The light they give is very soft, enough to make the granite walls faintly pale, enough to give the valley floor a low, even luminosity, not enough to do anything but rest in. The darkness between the stars is not empty. It is full of depth, full of distance, full of the quiet that lives in open spaces. Your eyes can stay open, or they can close. Either way, the stars remain. Either way, the night continues to hold you here on this bench, on this overlook, in this valley that has learned how to be still. The pines hold the night so gently. The refrain returns like an old thought, barely voiced, barely needed. It has always been true. It will always be true. The trees stand in their places, rooted in granite and soil, their boughs dark against the sky. They do not move except when the air moves them. And tonight the air is still. They have been holding the night for longer than you have been alive, and they will hold it long after this evening has passed into memory and then into nothing at all. That is their work, and they do it without effort. The weight of the body, the cool air, the river far below continuing. These are the things that remain, the bench beneath you, solid and dry, the granite cool against your palm, its surface faintly rough, faintly warm from the day that has passed, the pine needles soft underfoot if you were to move your feet, but there is no reason to move. The stars scattered overhead, not bright, not dim, just present in the way that stars are present when there is nothing between them and the eyes that rest upon them. The air on your skin, cool enough to notice, not cool enough to require anything of you. The breath moves in, the breath moves out. The river sounds, the night rests. Nothing is asked. Nothing is given except what is already here. The valley breathes in the way valleys breathe, slowly, with the movement of air from warm stone to cool meadow and back again. Your own breath finds the same rhythm without trying, without thinking, without any need to match or follow or become anything other than what it already is. Breath in cool air, breath out warm air. The exchange continues, quiet and steady, part of the same cycle that moves through pine boughs and river water, and the long, patient exhalation of granite as it releases the last of the sun's warmth into the night. The stars, the bench, the sound of water, the cool air. These are enough. These are more than enough. The body rests. The night continues. The pines hold everything with the same care they have always held it, and there is nothing left to do but be held. the pines, the night, the bench beneath, solid and still. You are resting now, your weight settled completely into the weathered wood. The grain of the bench is smooth beneath you, worn by seasons and by other visitors who sat here just as you do now. The granite underneath offers its support, cool and unchanging. There is nothing you need to hold, nothing you need to carry. The cool air moving in, the warm air moving out. Slow, even, no effort. Your breath finds its own rhythm, as natural as the river below, as steady as the stars above. The air travels in through your nose, fills your lungs with that high mountain coolness, and then leaves again, warmer, softer. Each breath asks nothing of you. It simply continues, the way night continues, the way the valley continues in its quiet rest. The river, somewhere far below, continuing its low sound through the dark valley. That murmur has been there all along. It remains there now, a constant presence woven into the stillness. The Merced moves over stone, through meadow grass, beneath the pines. It does not hurry. It simply moves as it has always moved, and the sound of it reaches you here, soft and unchanging, a thread of water through the dark. The stars overhead, patient and very quiet. They scatter across the indigo sky, each one holding its place. They do not flicker or fade. They simply rest there, the same stars that have watched over this valley for longer than memory. The light they offer is gentle. It asks nothing. It simply falls, touching the granite walls, the pine boughs, the valley floor, touching you where you rest on this bench. The pines hold the night so gently. Their branches rise around you, dark shapes against the deeper dark of the sky. They stand as they have stood through countless nights, their roots deep in the granite soil, their needles releasing that warm resin scent into the cooling air. They do not move, except for the smallest shift when a breath of air passes through. They simply stand, and in their standing, they hold everything. The night, the silence, you, warmth where the body rests, weight, stillness. You can feel the places where you meet the bench, where your weight is given over completely. There is warmth there, the warmth of your own body, the faint warmth still held in the wood from the afternoon sun. Your shoulders rest, your hands rest, the muscles along your back release into the support beneath you. There is only this weight, this warmth, this complete and quiet stillness. Your breath continues, slow and even. The air is cool. It fills you and leaves you over and over, a rhythm that requires nothing. The valley is quiet. The pines are quiet. The breath is slow and the air is cool and the night continues. Everything remains as it is, the stars in their places, the river in the valley below, its low voice steady and soft, the granite beneath you, cool and solid, the pine scent drifting through the darkness, the night itself, vast and patient, holding all of this without effort. Your weight sinks a little deeper, your breath grows a little slower. There is no need to watch or listen. The night holds you, the bench holds you, the valley breathes with you. Nothing more is needed. Only this, the warmth where you rest, the weight of your body, fully given over, the coolness of the air, The quiet rustle of pine needles somewhere nearby, barely heard. The stars, patient overhead. The river, low and constant in the dark. Only this. The night continuing. Your breath continuing. The valley holding everything in its quiet embrace. The wood beneath you. The granite below. The air moving in, moving out. Slow, even. No effort at all. Only this.